Libra. Welcome and welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. We are talking about April. Crazy. Can't believe it. So, how are you? How's March been? Or how was it? I hope that it's treated you well. So we are using the Black Tarot this month. I was actually going to use a different deck. And I had to move this one out of the way in order to get to that other deck. And as soon as I picked it up, it was like just immediately connected to my heart center. And I was just like, hell yeah, let's do this. Like, you know, when you plug something in and it like chimes, that's how it felt. That's definitely more like clairsentient. Like I can feel things more in my body anyway, blah, blah, blah. Right. So using the Black Tarot, absolutely obsessed with this deck. So for the monthly readings, we do a 4-card spread. The center position is the current energy. To the left is any potential blocks. Underneath is advice for clearing the block. And then the last card is the energy that you're heading into or what's coming next. I'll kind of speed through my spiel, but the cards do actually need to come out of the deck. My intention is for 1 card to come out at a time, but if 2 come out together, we'll take 2. I don't shuffle reversals into the deck either, so if they come out in the reverse, I'll keep them that way. And was there anything else? I don't think so. So look at you guys being chatty. Like, let's just get the party started. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups. Interesting. I say that all the time. It doesn't matter what it is. It's always going to be interesting. So the Knight of Pentacles talks about, well, Pentacles have to do with our money, our physical body, also kind of what we spend our time doing, right? It's literally, I mean, it's a physical 3D world. So, you know, it's you as a person, it's the things that you can touch. I think, you know, like relating abundance to money is just the easiest way to do that. But it doesn't necessarily have to be specifically money. So when we're talking about the Knight of Pentacles, it talks about, you know, like having this dedication and commitment, because the Pentacles energy is definitely very slow moving. Like time in the 3D versus time in 5D is, I mean, they're not even like comparable, right? So because in the 3D, it takes time for manifestations to actualize into our realities. Like, you know, it takes time for investments to mature. It takes time to climb a ladder at a job, right? Like, time. But it's also, you know, like kind of putting the physical work into doing it. When we get to the Knight of Pentacles, though, it is generally talking about like you are kind of starting to see the fruits of your labor. Like they're starting to blossom, right? And that's because you have had this dedication and this commitment. This could even just be that you have been on a certain path for an extended period of time. This came out with the 5 of Cups as well. And the 5 of Cups have to do with our emotions, right? Like our emotional body. And when we talk about the 5 of Cups, it does talk a little bit about loss, sadness, a bit of depression. The 5s are, you know, it's kind of like that conflict and change. Like it's a transitory energy, like you move through it, but You know, when things are changing, it can sometimes be uncomfortable. It could even be that, you know, because you're feeling uncomfortable or because you've been maybe feeling sad or just disappointed with how long the process is taking, that even kind of maybe forces you to change. But generally, you know, there's 3 cups that are overturned and there's still 2 cups, but the focus is on the 3 cups that have already been spilled. And that's, again, you know, kind of where our frustrations lie, and, you know, unmet expectations. And, you know, I mean, you could have experienced some sort of loss. We have the Queen of Wands behind there, the Wheel of Fortune. You know, the Queen of Wands, Wands talks about action and communication. You know, the Queen is, when we get to the Queen energy, it's something that we as individuals, we're embodying that energy, right? Like, we're almost kind of mastering it for ourselves. So, you know, the Wands are very creative too. You know, this isn't really like a traditional route of going about things. So this could even be finding some creativity to get the wheel moving. You know, the Wheel of Fortune, I always see the Wheel of Fortune as a good thing. I don't care where it shows up. I always see it as a turn for the better. Like, you know, kind of the wheels do start moving. Like things, you are trying to get things to move forward. You know, this is like that motivation, right? We have the Page of Swords and the Devil behind there. This to me is talking a bit more like, you know, the stuff that you're kind of telling yourself. Like, you know, the Page of Swords, swords have to do with our thoughts, intellect, how we're perceiving a situation. It also deals with our ego, because that's where, you know, our ego lives, is in our minds. And when we talk about the page, they're a little bit more like, you know, pages are younger energies. So if it's a person, it has to do, you know, like with adolescence to like early 20s. So, you know, it's almost just kind of this like, I'm getting this like nagging, you know, what's his name in that one show? Oh, what's his name in, is it Family Guy, where he's, you know, there's that, when he's trying to get his mom's attention and he's like, mom, mommy, mom, you know, like, but it's that kind of immature, like nagging kind of energy that's like right behind this Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, I mean, it could just be the stuff that you're telling yourself. Hold on. Okay, I had to tend to my dog's comfort. This is a bit too ego driven, very egotistical, like arrogant, right? Like a bit cocky, whatever other word you want to, you know, like describe kind of that that energy, right? Because we have the Devil behind that, and the Devil talks about, you know, kind of where are our temptations, like, and how are those temptations taking us away from what we are trying to create. It's also, you know, like obsessions, right? Like just kind of getting hyper focused on a certain way of being to where, you know, there's not really a ton of room for magic to happen. Right? So, you know, I mean, the Devil, I mean, it also talks about addiction, and addiction can literally, I mean, be anything, right? It's addicted to distraction, addicted to a substance, you know, addicted to self-sabotage, right? I mean, it's any form of addiction, or kind of just, you know, like a way of being in our heads that take us away from being in alignment with our higher selves. So, you know, the devil is also, you know, like it's that invitation to kind of look at those things and, you know, just kind of observe, like, you know, what is going on in my consciousness, right? So what is a block for Libra? What's blocking Libra? You were chatty before. What's the block? We have the Nine of Swords and Temperance, but they did come out in the reverse. This to me is avoidance is the term that's coming to mind. Let me make sure that everybody is in here. You can see that. I might have to move this over. Owlie can move a little bit. There we go. Thanks. Okay, thank you. There's sawdust everywhere. Oh my gosh, I've been in my garage working on making these sun catchers, and there's just sawdust everywhere. So I apologize for little specks. I mean, I even, like, I've already showered. So anyway, that's just funny. I brought in like a cloud of sawdust. So nine of swords, right? When we talk about the Nine of Swords in the upright, I mean, you can just kind of tell, right? Again, you know, swords have to do with our thoughts. I shouldn't say again, because have we talked about swords? Sorry. I've literally already forgotten from where we were. Swords have to do with our thoughts and our intellect, right? I think we did, because it's where our ego lives. This is where, you know, like when we get to the Nine of Swords, this talks about, you know, like anxiety and, you know, all of these, you know, kind of thoughts just raining down on this person, right? Or this figure. So this is all like those shame stories. This is the dialogue that you've had with yourself for however long. This is, you know, inner child wounding. This is everybody, you know, like it could be other people's opinions and fears and doubts that they've instilled on you. This could be, you know, just worry, right? Like worry about the unknown. So when it's in the reverse though, that means that like you're trying to come out of it, right? Like it's kind of the opposite of that energy. But it's interesting because this is in the blocked position. So this to me is saying that like, it's almost kind of like you're not necessarily allowing yourself to come out of it, or, and which is also, you know, not necessarily a bad thing. It's, you know, when you have awareness of something, right, then you're able to take a look at it and work through it. But if this is kind of an, you know, like if you've been in the Nine of Swords energy for forever, you know, it's survival mode, right? And a lot of us have been in survival mode for a very long time. So if you are in that energy for an extended period of time, it's hard to come out of. It's hard to feel safe enough to come out of that energy. We have Temperance that came out with it. Temperance talks about patience. It's understanding that, you know, there are certain things that kind of need to happen in order for a solution to come together. I always think about chocolate and tempering chocolate, because, you know, there are certain elements that have to happen in succession in order for chocolate to be tempered properly and you to be able to work with it in the way that you want it to, right? So you can't skip a step. And if you do, it's probably fucked. So, or at least it just makes it that much harder for it to come together, right? You have to focus even much more energy into fixing it instead of just doing it in the steps, you know, in the correct steps initially, right? And again, with this being in the reverse, to me, like I said before, when I first kind of saw these cards, there's this energy of like maybe not even wanting to face what is this energy. You may be trying to skip ahead. You may be trying to skip a few steps. This could even be, you know, this could even be, when we talk about the nines, it is an individual energy. Like we feel it individually before we share with a community, right? So you could be feeling like, you know, you've kind of had to be in this energy alone. Like you may be feeling isolated even, or just kind of feeling like you have to do things alone. And, you know, temperance is this energy of, again, you know, like there's certain elements that need to come to play in order for there to be betterment of the situation. So this could be not seeking help, not, you know, like even voicing to somebody else, whether, you know, like it's a friend or a therapist or, you know, somebody of authority that, you know, like has, that, you know, like you feel confident in sharing certain things with. Like, and we have the Eight of Wands at the bottom of the deck. The Eight of Wands is generally very fast moving. Wands have to do with action and communication. I'm sorry. I'm like looking for water because apparently there's sawdust in my throat too. Check out my Instagram. I finally started posting on there. I post daily energies, but also just kind of like my Etsy shop, and I posted a little video of making these sun catchers. Anyway, back to it. So, you know, when we talk about the Eight of Wands, it's something coming in fast. This could just be, you know, again, like, you know, these thoughts, you know, the Nine Swords can just, you know, almost just be kind of, you know, concaving in on you. You could be trying to run away from them too, right? Because I mean, this figure or this energy is running to the right. So, you know, you could be trying, instead of like kind of stopping and turning around and facing them, or just kind of almost like dealing with it head on, you're running from it. There's this amazing group called, I'm just going to say it, of course, take it or leave it. Because it literally, it was just like a balloon that like dropped into my head. But there's this group called Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families. I believe it's ACA for short. And it's an anonymous, you know, it's a fellowship. It's just kind of like AA or NA. However, it's more spiritually based, for one. And for two, it actually deals more with inner child healing. Like that's kind of the premise, is to kind of discover your inner child and really kind of like work through some of these stories, right? And it's an amazing community. They used to, like during the pandemic, they had their meetings online, and I'm not sure if they've continued to do that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. And we have the Four of Cups behind. The Four of Cups. Oh, sorry. Ooh, I don't know if you heard that. It sounded like something was exploding, but it was just a motorcycle. So there's that. The Four of Cups, we have the Five of Cups. The Four of Cups talks about, it's a little bit of the same-ish, like, you know, traditionally, there's a figure sitting under a tree, there's 3 cups that are spilled, and then there's this hand coming out of nowhere in the sky offering 1 cup. So, but the figure doesn't see the 1 cup because they're so focused on what has disappointed them or what hasn't worked out, or they're just so focused on feeling like shit that they don't even see that there's an option to feel better. So again, you know, like that even just kind of goes like, you know, just, it's almost kind of like you're keeping yourself miserable is the feeling that I'm getting. I want to be sensitive too, because I have totally been in that energy and I've had somebody call me out on that. And, you know, again, like I said, though, it's not necessarily like a bad place to be. And you would, whatever reason there is for it, you are absolutely justified in that. However, there is help available, right? Like there is a way to feel better because the world is after the Four of Cups. So it's almost like, you know, there's this ending that wants to present itself. Like, you know, and the star was right behind that. So, you know, the world and then the star is right behind that. So, you know, there's this ending that wants to present itself. And unfortunately, it can't, because there's this block happening here. Like, it's like an otter built a dam along your energy flow. And it's not a cute little otter, though. It's an otter that is preventing yourself from growth and from feeling good about yourself and feeling good about, you know, the prospects of your life. So little otter dude needs to go. The dam needs to be cleared so that that energy can start flowing and magic can happen, right? Like even just the reference to water and water having to do with our emotions, right? Like clearing that shit out. Like, sorry, otter dude, but and also thank you, otter dude, right? Because I mean, like, again, you know, like just it's there for a reason. It's kept us safe and it's gotten us to this point. However, otter dude needs to move. It's time to post up somewhere else. What is the advice that I was literally just talking about? Sorry. What is the advice for Libra? We have the Four of Pentacles and Judgment, but they did come out in the reverse. And the Page of Pentacles, High Priestess. Are you joking me right now, Libra? Come on. Beautiful. So we have the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is literally holding on too tight. This is not letting it go. This is the otter posted up in the river of your energy. And Judgment. Judgment talks about transformation. I mean, this is the ultimate transformation. This is that transformation that happens before the world can take place. The world is the literal completion of a cycle. And, you know, we saw the world over here under all those cards, right? So this is, you know, almost this like rebirth happening, right? Like crawling out from under this rock that maybe, you know, like you've pitched a tent under. However slowly that needs to go. Like it's not, you know, like nobody's saying that, you know, this needs to happen like, you know, in a matter of a day, or I mean it certainly can, right? Like it 100% can. I just want to say that it doesn't have to, because I think, you know, we just kind of get lost in the details sometimes, or we get lost in, you know, kind of comparing ourselves to other people and their journeys, and we have no effing clue what their journey was in the first damn place. So focus on you. What in the... And worry about yourself, okay? So we have, again, you know, we have both of these cards in the reverse. So otter, this is moving that otter out, right? Like this is releasing control, or at least just loosening our grip a little bit, right? Like take a couple twigs and a couple sticks and a couple logs out of Otter's home, so that, you know, there's just, even if there's just this little waterfall, this little stream of water that's kind of able to get through that dam, right? It's better than what's been going on, because, you know, by doing so, you know, it like, since these came out together, it's almost like they go hand in hand. This transformation needs to have that flow of energy in order to, you know, kind of build its momentum, right? Because this is kind of like a twister looking thing. We have the Page of Pentacles behind here. You know, the Page of Pentacles, again, talking about pages with them being more of an adolescent or a younger type of energy. This is somebody who's like, you know, this is a person in training. This is learning a new way of being. This could even be inner child work, going back to what I was talking about with the adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional families. You know, it could be even just taking a look at their website, right? Like there's a ton of resources and information on there. You know, so it could even just be that, but it is starting, it's moving into, this is like, you know, when you get a new job, this could even be school, this, you know, whatever it is, right? Like it's a new energy, but it's like you're actually moving towards it. And we have the High Priestess behind that. This is moving towards being reconnected with yourself. This is, you know, a reconnection to your star player. I always see the High Priestess as our higher selves. This is absolutely beautiful. And we haven't even gotten to the last card yet. But you're at least like, you know, you're starting to head in that direction. We have the Queen of Cups and then the Empress. This is like... Oh, Maylanta. I mean, the Queen of Cups would be the minor arcana to the High Priestess. Like this is almost just, you know, kind of reaffirming. This is, you know, getting like really digging into your feelings. Because when we talk about the Queen energy, the Queen, you know, is something that we embody personally. This could even be sharing your emotions with somebody else, like sharing how you feel with somebody else, whether that's in a group like ACA, or again, you know, I mean, it could be a therapist, it could be, you know, somebody that you have confidence in, right? But it's somebody that can help you. It's not just a friend, right? I mean, most friends aren't necessarily trained to be able to help navigate these big feelings, right? Not to say that you shouldn't share your feelings with your friends, but like I said, you know, like there needs to be some level of assistance there. And then we have the Empress. Like, what? Oh my goodness. You know, the Empress is divine feminine energy. This is being in the flow. This is, you know, like Otter moved out. We got the Otter out. You know, gave him a 30-day notice. You know, I mean, he might have taken 30 days, but he's at least out. And now, you know, like the flow of energy can flow. Because this is divine feminine energy. It's not a gender, it's just the energy. And the feminine is all about flow and intuition and birthing opportunity into your life, right? She's generally depicted as being pregnant. That talks about birthing things, like, you know, birthing abundance into your life. The Six of Pentacles just kind of got stuck there too. And that talks about help from the community. And it just flipped over again. Help from the community, right? This is kind of no strings attached help either. So again, you know, just kind of maybe looking outside of yourself, like, you know, recognizing and accepting that I've gotten myself this far, but to go even further and to, you know, go to the depths that I want to, and to kind of manifest this life that I want to have. I need help. So what's next for Libra? What is next? What's next for, whoop, that is too many. What's next for Libra? There's so much information out on this table. I'm like running out of room. Oh my God. I can't. My Libras. Some of the best people in my life are Libras. I love y'all. We're like running out of space. There's like literally so much information on this table. We're running out of space. But I am a lover of information. So I am excited about the level of information out here. Okay. We'll come back to that. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the Star. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely beautiful. My right eye is getting misty. I don't know why it's not both of them. It's just the right one. But the 10 of Pentacles talks about community. Literally talks about community. It talks about family. You know, again, with the Pentacles having to do with our, you know, it talks about our physical body. It talks about what we're spending our time, like what are we investing our time in? It also talks about money, but this is having an abundance of what you need for yourself to where you can share it with other people. And this is other people sharing what they have with you also, right? Like it's reciprocal. You know, I mean, if this has anything to do with body or health, right? I mean, like this could just be that there's help available for your, for whatever condition you're in. And this would be confirmation that, you know, like it would be beneficial and helpful. We have the Star card. This is like, you know, hope and faith and trusting the outcome. I always see the star card as being that space between the physical 3D and the spiritual cosmos. And the space between is where our prayers and our manifestations live, because we need both to come together in order for something to actualize, right? So I'm just obsessed with this. It's all free will too, right? Like, this may sound all well and good, but it's still going to take you deciding to do it. And you absolutely don't have to, right? That's what free will is about. But this is the possibility if you do decide to give it a go. If you kick that otter out and you know, like allow the energy to start flowing, this is what's possible. This beautiful manifestation, like what you want would, you know, and again, like I was saying with spheres, this is something, it's not going to come quick. It could. It always has the opportunity to. This is almost maybe even a miracle. This has like miracle energy written all over it too. But, you know, just also resigning and accepting the fact that, you know, like whatever next steps that you take, it is going to take some time. Just because, you know, the otter's out and the energy is flowing, that just means that, you know, like there's that much more to recognize and, you know, like pour compassion and grace into. But also, you know, it's a journey and it is a practice. It's not something you perfect. It's something that you continue to practice, right? We have the Three of Pentacles behind there, which talks about collaboration. So again, I mean, this whole message, I feel, has gone towards, you know, like asking for help. There's this collaboration. This is planning. This is, you know, like, how are you going to get to where you want to go? We have the Seven of Pentacles behind there. You effing kidding me? Like, this building, this is, again, like just, you know, continuing to foster, continuing to pour your energy into this thing so that this tree can burst out of the ground. This is understanding that just because you put a seed in the ground doesn't mean it's just going to bloom on its own. You need to water it. You need to, you know, kind of foster that until it comes bursting out, right? And even then, you still need to water and prune and do all the things, right? The King of Wands, creation. This is, you know, even just like literally creating the future, the life that you want. And the Five of Wands, because you're fighting for it. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely beautiful, Libra. And I am 100% just obsessed with this whole thing. And however which way you decide to go, whether this is a decision that you make in the month of April, or if it's just kind of a consideration, you know, the seed has been planted, like the Seven of Pentacles. The seed is in there. And regardless of how long it takes for you to start fostering that, it's more of a matter of actually just doing it at some point. So I am going to leave it there. I'm sending all my love. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Libra.